Good morning, boys and girls. Grammar today, we are going to talk about simple subjects and simple predicates. I will tell you what it is. I will go over a few examples with you and then tell you your assignment after we're finished. So first we have simple subject. And a simple subject is the main word in the complete subject. So it is the main word that is our subject. So an example is the big black dog licked the coffee mug. So what licked the coffee mug? The dog. That is our simple subject. The subject is who the story is talking about. Who in the story or sentence are we talking about? And we have simple predicate is the verb or verb phrase in the complete predicate. So the big black dog licked the mug. So who? We're talking about the dog. What did the dog do? The dog licked. Licked would be our simple predicate. These are examples and they will be on the board by the timer as where they will always be held, so you can always look back as a reference. Now let's go on to our paper. This has to do with the package for Miss Jules. So all the sentences are going to be talking about our story and reading. So it says, a sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought. Every sentence has two parts, a subject and a predicate. It is not a sentence if it doesn't have those two things. The simple subject is the main word or words that tell who or what the sentence is about. The simple predicate is the main word or words that tells what the subject is or does. So really, the subject is who it's talking about, and the predicate is what they are doing. Okay. The only reason it says simple, it's because they're only doing one thing. If they were doing more than one thing, it would be something else. But since it's simple, it's mean it's only going to be, your sentence is only going to have one thing in it. So as an example, it says the students learned about gravity in science class. So who are we talking about? Students. What are they doing? They're learning. And that's a good phrase to kind of get yourself into when we're talking about this. The students learned about gravity in science class. Who? The students. So we ask ourselves, who first? That's going to give us our subject. What did the students do? They learned. So who is it talking about? And what did they do or are, basically, because it could be is. So down here, we're going to go on to our examples, and I will do all 8 of these with you and then give you your assignment. So it says we're going to underline the simple subject and we're going to circle the simple predicate. Okay, the students researched gravity. Who researched gravity? The students. What did the students do? They researched. Butch and Frank found a website about it. Who found a website? Frank and Butch. What did Frank and Butch do? They found. The teacher read the website aloud. Who read the website aloud? The teacher. What did the teacher do? She read. He asked for an example about gravity, or he asked an example of gravity. Who asked? He asked. What did he do? He asked. See if you can find a pattern in here too. Katie raised her hand. Who raised their hand? Katie. My bad. I did that wrong. Who raised their hand? Katie. What did Katie do? She raised. The class has lots of examples in mind. Who has examples in mind? The class. I'm sorry. I keep doing this wrong. Getting mixed up. So the class had lots of examples in mind. Who had lots of examples in mind? The class. What did the class do? They had. Suddenly, Alice sat down on the floor. Who sat down? Alice. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry, guys. Who sat down? Alice. What did Alice do? She sat. Everyone in the class clapped at Alice's example. Who? Everyone. What did they do? They clapped. Now, if you see, you can see that most of them go back to back. But in this case, this is what we call in the class. What we call this is a prepositional phrase. We will get to this later in the year. But just know, everyone is our subjects. And what did everyone do? Everyone clapped. Everyone didn't everyone clapped. And once again, I did that wrong. So you can always look back on this. If you have any questions, you can look back on this video. You can look up the board that tells you what it is. And also, you can come find me if I'm not super busy with a group. I am always here to help. So your assignment in your Journeys Reader's Notebook, it is the blue notebook in your little tubs. You are going to do page 7. Just page 7. So if you look up here, you can read. It gives you another little example of it and an example. And then you're going to read the directions right here. Read the sentence, underline the subject, and circle the predicate. And just these 4 sentences. Then you're going to come down here, 5 through 7, and you're going to read the sentence and then write the simple subject and circle the simple predicates. So in the early morning is a busy time for the school principal. Who are we talking about? The principal. So we would write principal here. And what is the principal doing? She's busy. Yes, the principal is busy in the early mornings. So you would write principal here and then circle busy. You're welcome. I just gave you one. Now, when you get finished with this, I want you to turn it into grammar, but just be careful because tomorrow you're going to do the back side of it, but I will hand it back to you before then. And if you do not get this finished in time, make sure you get it done and turn it in so you don't get 2 missing assignments and it's just 1. Remember, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.